If you told me a year ago that I would be living full-time in a bus and traveling around the States tattooing people, I would absolutely have not believed you. And here I am doing exactly that.
So you live in the dream. You should see it through someone else's side. Another cipher to break, while the grass grows underneath my feet.
Soccer was my muse. That was my everything. I played soccer since I can remember. I played all the way through college. I always knew I kind of wanted like a movement-based lifestyle. After college, I moved to Australia with my sister. And we traveled and lived for a year all over that country. And I actually ended up playing a season in Australia, playing soccer. Once soccer was over, I mean, you have so much identity in that, right? And you like shed that identity and you have to like rid yourself of, okay, this is what I've done for this long, and so this is how I feel. I like express myself, and now I don't have that anymore. And that was kind of a time where I felt the most lost, and it was like, what do I know? What do I love? Amongst all of the amazing things, all of the highs, all of the beauty that I found, all of the freedom that I found in Australia, I also experienced a lot of lows, a lot of really dark spaces in my life. I found that there was a lot of mourning to be done of a past person, a past version of myself. And through those times, I found tattooing, it was a distraction for me at first. It was nothing that I had ever really like super consciously thought about. It gave me something to really like focus my energy on. It was something that was a creative outlet for me. And it also felt kind of like badass too. Like I was like, hell yeah. And then people would see that, or I told friends, you know, like, look, I did this. And they're like, whoa, that's so cool. Do you want to do one on me? I was like, I guess, sure. Don't know if I'm any good, but like I could do this triangle, so maybe I could do something on you.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah.
It's kind of like really addicting.
After living abroad for over a year, I came back home and I got a job at Dutch Bros. And from there, I just kind of started this cycle of live at home, work, save money, go and travel again, be broke, come back. And I finally was over like going back to my parents. I wanted like my own stability and I wanted my own way of being, and I didn't want to be in that cycle of just like having a job, saving money, and then stop. I wanted travel to be my life instead of like working to travel.
Tell me when you're coming down to Utah.
Okay.
Have a really good trip.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Brave girl. Onward. So then I bought Gwen, which is a 2008 Chevy Express Duramax diesel engine. And converted Gwen, quit my job at Dutch Bros, and went to Bend, Oregon for the summer, where I figured I would find lots of things that I love. I was climbing every day, hiking, showering in the Deschutes River. You're camping essentially out in the forest. Met a lot of amazing people there that kind of just like were a new community of travelers. There's just this wonderful agreement and acceptance of people exactly the way that they are.
All right, so do we have a game plan on how you want to do this, cameraman?
It was always on fire, our house, our dreams. We were dancing on a wire, reckless it seemed.
When I lived in Bend, tattooing was still there. I was always tattooing. I started practicing on my left arm and basically just like continued to tattoo myself and my friends, but it was more of a hobby, kind of an afterthought. It was never anything that I thought I would be doing as a career. Do you want it smaller leaves almost?
Yeah, almost smaller
Yeah,
leaves.
that's what I'm thinking too.
That it's pretty much exactly what you had. But
No, but it has a different flow to it. I see it. I see what you see. Pretty much like once a week, I would dedicate a day to tattooing. I would go out to Miller's Landing and I would just like sit out in the sunshine in my swimsuit and tattoo myself. I was doing that one day and met some strangers in the park, and one thing led to another, and I ended up tattooing their wedding rings on them. And those two people are like really great friends of mine now. And from there, it just kind of like snowballed into this thing that I was good at and that people liked and people wanted.
this is my third tattoo from you. It's beautiful.
Opal. Ah! You're so cute, but you're so in the way. Why do you have to be so big and tall? You're bad. You need to go back. You have to go back there. Yeah, I love you. Your breath smells like gross.
Opal's been a shit today.
I never thought I would be a dog owner. I grew up with cats. I am really afraid of commitment. And I've never really wanted to be a parent. My friend knew that I loved Danes. And they called me one day and they just said, hey, I'm at my grandma's house. I'm down in California. I'm with the new litter of puppies, and there's this one. It's all white. It was born deaf. And my grandma's gonna euthanize it. And I just mentioned your name, and like, I think like you should have this dog. I can't stand the thought of it like not existing. I knew immediately when like this opportunity came to me. I was like, this is gonna be a thing. It's gonna happen. Also, am I insane to accept a deaf Great Dane into my life living in a bus? Like, is that, should I do that? Like, is that insane of me? Yes and yes. The first time I saw her, I burst into tears and all I could say was, you're so beautiful. And I just like absolutely fell in love with her. Obviously, how could you not? Now you're tired?
Friends tell me that I should move on and try and forget. But this is not another tragic love saga that dies in the end.
When I left Oregon, there was a lot of things going on in my personal life and also the smoke. This is so sad.
Down south in Oregon, tragic situation. Thousands have been ordered to evacuate due to raging wildfires in Clackamas County.
And I remember leaving Bend and just being like, what am I doing? How am I gonna make this work? And just driving and being overwhelmed by this sense of it's all gonna work out and it's all gonna be okay. I just felt this overwhelming sense of calmness being on the open road, like nothing known ahead of me, and that's where I feel the most alive. Before I knew it, I got a message from a friend in Colorado, and he said, hey, if you make it out to Colorado, like, come tattoo my wife and I. We'd be super happy to have you. And made it to Colorado, and one thing led to another, and from there, I did those 2 tattoos, and then more people wanted tattoos, and I started getting messages. It just kind of like snowballed from there, and it just grew into this thing where all of a sudden I was living on the road and tattooing people for an income. Eventually, that brought me to San Francisco, where I just found magic. Where I just found these people that were living life how I wanted to live it and saw the world the way that I saw it, and were excited to meet new, unique, creative people and live a free, open life that I had wanted and that I had worked for, but also found me in a way that I didn't really expect.
It's been 72 weeks in this town. I still believe I'll see you again. You do not know what I have in mind. I packed our bags, we'll be on our way.
I love it.
Tattooing has taken me places that I never really thought I would go or could go.
Do you have a hard time with other people that look down on your lifestyle?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's hard. When I start comparing myself to other people is when that kind of like really negative thought process can kind of like spiral and take me to a bad place of just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you like this? Why are you so different? Why can't you just be like this and like do life in this way, because that's how everybody else is doing it. If I learned anything from my time when I was in Australia, was in Australia I had that like freedom to just like be me, be open, be free, and just was like totally rid myself of what anyone else had previously thought of me because no one knew me. And then when I came back to home and like was kind of reincorporated in this world that was my world and, you know, my old friends and my old people, I had to just let go of what people thought of me. And I had to truly like not care, because I got all the time, like, you've changed so much. Wow, you're so different now. And all of these things that feel judgmental and like hard to hear, because it's like these people that know and love me, and all of a sudden I'm not that same person anymore. If I could go back and talk to myself five years ago, I guess I would tell myself that there's more, and there is really wonderful, amazing things coming, and that it's a process and it's a journey, and that the darkness isn't always going to be that dark. And yeah, you'll find yourself in those dark moments periodically as you like continue to live, but there's a spot for you, like you fit somewhere.
Even if we're just dancing in the dark, even if we're just dancing